إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله وغيبة ولينا وكثرة عدونا وقلة عددنا وشدة الفتن بنا وتظاهر الزمان علينا وصل على محمد وآله وأعنا على ذلك بفتح منك تعجله وضر تكشفه ونصر تعزه وسلطان حق تظهره ورحمة منك تجلدنا وعافية منك تلبسنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصل اللهم على محمد وآله الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا وجعلنا الليل لباسا وجعلنا النهار معاشا وبنينا فوقكم سبعا شدادا وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا وأنزلنا من المعصرات ماء ثجاجا لنخرج به حبا نباتا وجنات ألفافا إن يوم الفصل كان ميقاتا يوم ينفخ في الصور فتأتون أفواجا وفتحت السماء فكانت أبوابا صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. الصوم هو الترفع عن النزاعات وعدم الاستسلام للشهوات. هذا هو طريق الوصول إلى أي كمال، إلى أي حق، إلى أي سمو معنويا وماديا. إن صيام شهر رمضان وسائر العبادات والشعائر الدينية ليست نشاطا جسديا فحسب، إنها حركات تنبع من العقل والقلب. شهر رمضان مناخ يتكون فيه الإنسان العزيز، فاتح مكة والمنتصر في بدر وصانع التاريخ. شهر رمضان هو شهر الألفة والتحسس بآلام الآخرين، موسم تناسي الأحقاد وجمع الصفوف وتوحيد الكلمة والقلوب وبعث الأمة من جديد. إننا في هذا الشهر يجب أن نأخذ السمو الروحي والرأفة والرحمة والمحبة والتواضع والقوة والشدة مع أعداء الله. يمن فؤادك شاطئ الرحمن، ثم اغتسل من سلسل الإيمان، وتجلد بالتقوى لكل فريضة، واسبغ وضوءك من شر القرآن. تلك الجنان تفتحت أبوابها للعابد الصوام في رمضان، فاعرج إلى الباري بقلب طاهر تأمن لظى وعقوبة الديان، وزد الصلاة على الرسول وآله تحرز عظيم الأجر والرضوان. والآن نبقى مع الإمام محمد علي الإلهي نستقبله بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.
So we are still talking about that beautiful letter from Ramadan alayhi salam. I'm hoping to complete this letter before my safar, because we said further participate and got the main points of this letter whether in the audience or people who may watch us online. They can participate in that competition, inshallah, for completing the points of this letter 69. Remember last night we were talking about these three sentences, لا تجعل عرضك غرضا للنضال القوي. The first thing the Imam said is that for Al-Harith Al-Hamdani, be careful that you protect your integrity. Don't put your error and your integrity like a target for people's talk. What we say, اتقوا من مواضع التهم. But if you know that by putting yourself in a situation, you are going to be left in your mouth and people are going to talk about you and they are going to humiliate you, don't put yourself in that situation. So that's number one. Number two was ولا تحدث الناس بكل ما سمعت. Don't talk or don't tell everybody everything that you hear. You hear a lot. He says, who said that? Say, يقولون. They are saying it. Somebody said that. Just because someone said something, you don't share the sayings of people with some other people because that might be everywhere. You know, you heard something that is a lie. And why would you share lies with other people? Because that is an act of sin. Don't say things that you are not sure. Even لا تقل كل ما تعلم. Even if you are sure and if you know it, you don't have to say just because you know it and it is the truth. So, oh, I'm telling the truth. You have to tell the truth all the time. I mean, tell the truth, but if necessary. Because sometimes, you know, there is a difference between as-sawab, as-sidq. Sidq means to tell the truth. But sawab means something wise and something really beneficial, something that's useful. Sometimes you might say sidq, but it's not sawab. And you are telling the truth, but you know, telling the truth, maybe you create trouble now. You want to tell the wife or a husband something that you know, and it's true. But by telling the truth, you are destroying their marriage now. And you say, oh, I'm telling the truth. So please don't talk at this time. You don't have to say anything because by telling the truth, you are a troublemaker now. So it's not just to يعني تكلم صدقا وتكلم صوابا. الكلام should be sadid and wise. So you know sometimes it's better to lie than telling the truth in the case of reconciliation between husband and wife. If you say, I know for sure he loves you. I know. Even if you're not sure that he loves her, but by saying some words reconciling between this family and save their marriage, it's better to say, oh, I don't want to lie, I want to tell the truth. And then you end this relationship. That is not something right. So this is very, very important that we don't say everything that, first of all, لا تقل ما لا تعلم, don't say it if you don't know it. And secondly, لا تقل كل ما تعلم, don't say everything that you know. And remember, الفرق بين الصدق والصواب. Always make sure that كلامك كلام صواب. And for reconciliation, you may do whatever to reconcile a relationship. The third sentence of Imam Ali was that لا ترد على الناس كل ما حدثوك به فكفى بذلك جهلا. That don't be just a denying. Oh, I don't accept this, I don't believe that, I don't, agree with that. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that it's not true. Then I don't know, I don't understand, it might be true. You can say, no, I cannot believe in the day of judgment. I don't believe in heaven and hell. Well, you may say, I don't really understand it, right? But how you can deny that? No, there is no such a thing as the afterlife. How do you know that? What if there was? Did you go there? I mean, how you got this information that you are sure that it doesn't exist? عدم الوجدان لا يدل على عدم الوجود. Just because you cannot find it doesn't mean that doesn't exist. There are so many things that you can find it, you can prove it, but still exists. You cannot see it, you cannot taste it, you cannot touch it. Like so many things in this world, but it exists. So there is a sentence from Abu al-Sina, is a philosopher, the biggest philosopher in Islam. He said, كل ما طرع سمعك من حوادث الزمان فذره في بقعة الإمكان. Whatever touches your ears, you may say it's possible, maybe, you know, whatever. You cannot just deny everything and say it's impossible just because you don't understand it. So this is very, very important. Now, a little bit more explanation about the second part of the statement of Imam Ali, because that's really, very important. That don't just share any information. This is very important in our Islamic morality, that how we can control our tongue. Because this tongue can be the most sinful organ in our body. The size of this tongue is small. You say, جرمه صغير وجرمه كبير. This tongue, from the size of physical size of tongue, is small, but the size of sin that this tongue can make is huge. So always remember, جرمه صغير جرمه كبير. This is about our tongue. سلامة الإنسان في حفظ اللسان. If we can control our tongue, we are safe. Our safety comes through controlling the things that we say, our tongue. And especially when it comes to really haram stuff. This verse from the Quran is Surah An-Nur, verse 19, إن الذين يحبون أن تشيع الفاحشة في الذين آمنوا لهم عذاب أليم. Those people who are interested to make shayat and rumors and destroy people's image, to ruin the reputation of people, these people should expect a painful punishment from God, because they are interested in al-fahsha. They want to contribute to ugliness and accusation and exaggeration and bad stuff all over. That is absolutely wrong. You know this Surah Al-Qalam? لا تطع كل حلاف مهين هماز مشاء بنميم مناع للخير معتد أثيم عتل بعد ذلك زنيم أن كان ذا مال وبنين إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين. Very interesting verses in Surah Al-Qalam, verse 10 to 16, talking about 10 bad qualities of some people. And Allah is saying to His Prophet that when you see people with these same characteristics, they swear Allah, they backbite, they are people of gossip, they are sinful, they are corrupt, they are spiritually sick, they are not useful, they are not beneficial, they are all, corrupt and evil all the time. Not to their home. Don't obey these people. Don't pay attention to these people. Even if they have a lot of money. Yes, because someone has so much money doesn't mean that his house is lots of money, right? But they are corrupt, they are sinful, they are sick. Yes, because they don't like some, look what they did to Qatar. They just something happened. These guys are crazy. I mean, they break all the bridges, because they are angry on something unbelievable. They're punishing everybody. They do like a sanction from the air and sea and land and against people and airplane and ships and food and medicine all over. It's thank God that they don't have power. If they had atomic bomb, what they would do, these guys, It's good that they don't have that much power. It's unbelievable. These people, so far they were against Shia. Okay, Qatar is not Shia, right? Qatar is not Persian. It's all they are Persian, they are Majus, they are Furs, they are this and that. They are Arab, they are Sunni. They've been fighting with you and for you in Yemen all over. Now they said one word that they don't like it. You don't like one word that this guy did. My goodness, unbelievable. Quran says, and kana Ramadan wa banin. They have lots of money and banin, all these princes, like thousands of sons and princes that they have. Who cares about Madin wa banin? If they are حلاق المهين هماز مشاء بنميم مناع للخير معتد أثيم عتل بعد ذلك زنيم. If somebody with all these bad qualities, you follow it just because this person has money? Are you serious? Sometimes people get so arrogant because of money. Trump has a lot of money, right? He's a billionaire. And for that reason, these people are so arrogant. And something happened in London, like this tragic terrorist attack in London, and this guy attacked the mayor of London because he is Muslim. Can you imagine? Because that Khan, he is Muslim, and the mayor of London. This guy is coming and attacking him, like somebody after 9/11 comes and attacks like the mayor of New York. Instead of showing solidarity, that condolences, we support you, is there anything we can do for you, this is really a terrible thing that happened. Instead of showing some solidarity, just because the guy is Muslim, Trump want to use this as an Islamophobia to say something about Islam and about Muslims. That is irresponsible. That is immoral thing to say. That is not right. You should show solidarity. Instead of attacking the guy, what did he do wrong? He's a mayor, he did his job of, providing security, whatever he can do. Now, if a terrorist thing happens, it happens everywhere. But it is not time to, you see, people have money, and because of that, sometimes they get arrogant, and because of that, they think that the other bad qualities that they have is covered. And then, ignorant people, they take advantage. Like just before Maghrib, there are two TV channels there. It was Fox 2 and another channel that they came here to ask about what happened in Dearborn High. Did you hear an imam from Dearborn High? He was inspiring that guy in London who committed terrorism. I said, who is that? They said, this guy is called Moses Gabriel. And he's an imam. I said, we don't have such an imam in Dearborn Heights. I'm here now for 25 years. We don't have, this person as imam here. Yeah, we know about this guy. He had a fraud case a few years ago that, not for terrorism and this kind of thing, but for fraud. He had a case, but they freed him, and his father is in jail now. But he is not an imam. I'm part of the Imam's Council. I never saw him in the Imam's meeting, and he doesn't have a mosque here in Dearborn or Dearborn Heights, and he doesn't represent the mosque. He never led a prayer or gave a lecture as an imam. Just because somebody has beer or has a kufi doesn't mean that this person is an imam. But we know that in the past he was kind of showing support for ISIS and this kind of extremist group. That doesn't make this person imam. And if that's the case, that is FBI and Department of Homeland Security that they have to take care of these cases. Don't come and now accuse the Muslim community and attack Muslim community, and then some ignorant say, oh yeah, Islam is like that, go and bomb Muslims and ban the religion of Islam and destroy this religion and tell everybody go home and all this nonsense. And I told them, I said, the media is really responsible for when you say such a thing, people who are listening to you and they don't know the facts, they don't know the details, they may think, oh, now Dearborn is a center of terrorism and, that's a huge insult to our community. Our community here and everywhere are all these victims of terrorism. We are victims of terrorism. Don't you see that what happened in Afghanistan? 500 people were killed or wounded. They are all Muslims. And ISIS said they did it. Don't you see what in Baghdad happens every day, in Syria, in Yemen? It happened in Philippines, it happened in Beirut. It happened everywhere. And they are Muslims who are victims of this terrorism. You never talk about that and give the right information to people. You see, irresponsible talk creates huge problems. And Imam Ali is saying that be very careful of sharing everything that you hear, because that might be a kadhib, a lie. Islamophobia is a lie. All of this, exaggeration and accusation and attack on our faith and our community is sinful, it's kadhib, it's not true. We've been against terrorism and ISIS from day number one. We had it years ago. We met in front of the city hall with all the imams. I called all the imams. And we still had the video of that gathering that is a Muslim against ISIS. So this is very, very important. Imam is saying that control your lisan. احفظ لسانك تعس. If you want to be dignified, then be careful about your lisan. لا ينبغي للمؤمن أن يذل نفسه. It is not right for a faithful to actually put himself down. Somebody asked Imam that how somebody may put himself down, and Imam said, by saying something wrong. إياك أن تخبر الناس بجميع أحوالك. Even you don't have to tell everybody about everything about your life. Some people, they see you and they start open their heart. All the problems that they have, myself and family and money, and somebody is sick, and grandma and grandmother, all of and you don't have to go through every details of your life and share that with everyone. What do you get out of that? Because the person that you share all of this information with that this person either likes you or hates you. If this guy hates you and is your enemy, when you say all of your problems, he is happy now to hear that, oh, okay, he enjoys it, right? He is your enemy. And if that person who hears all this stuff, if that person is your friend, he gets sad. So why you want to make your friend sad and make your enemy happy by saying stuff that are necessary? Even if this person is your friend, later on, when the problem is over, you can share with that, right? When you are done with that, not in the middle. It's a very situation that that person can help you. There is one conversation between Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and Imam Ali. وصلي النبي عليه السلام إلى علي عليه السلام. يا علي ثمانية إن أهينوا فلا يلوموا إلا أنفسهم. There are 8 groups of people that if they were insulted, they should blame just themselves. They is not supposed to blame someone else if they were insulted. Number 1, الضرب على مائدة لم يدع إليها. If there is a reception and you are not invited, and you just go without invitation, you are putting yourself down. So in this case, if you are insulted, what are you doing here? We have a ticket, we have an invitation, then you blame yourself because you went without invitation. Sometimes the reception is open for everyone, right? So that's okay. But for example, now somebody has a baby and a reception, or somebody has a wedding at a reception, or somebody is a walima at the reception, and invited certain people. It's not like open for everyone. And you go there without invitation, you are not related, you are not invited. If you were insulted, then the Prophet said you have to blame yourself. Number 1. Number 2, المتآمر على رب البيت. If you are invited, someone, you are a guest, you shouldn't insult your host, right? He's your host. And now you do something to insult your host. If you were insulted back, then blame yourself. Number 3, وَطَالِبُ الْخَيْرِ مِنْ أَعْدَائِهِ. You know that somebody is your enemy and you expect from your enemy a blessing. That doesn't make sense. If this person is your enemy, is not going to help you. While you are asking your enemy for help, then don't blame someone else in this case. وَطَالِبُ الْفَضْلِ مِنَ اللِّئَامِ. You ask something from somebody who's cheap, doesn't have generosity at all, someone who is so mean, stingy, and you go and ask this person with zero generosity something. If you are insulted and you get nothing out of this, again, you cannot blame someone else. والداخل بين اثنين في سر لم يدخلاه فيه. You see 2 guys or 2 women, they are talking to each other. And there is some conversation between 2 individuals. And you go there and you get involved. I mean, it's don't stop, they are talking. And they are not going to appreciate that. So if you get involved and you see they are talking, let the conversation over and then you want to go and talk. But don't put yourself in the middle of conversation of 2 other individuals that they are busy, maybe they are discussing something confidential, so on and so forth. If in this case something happened, don't blame someone else. وَالْمُسْتَخِفُ بِالْسُلْطَانِ. If you see there is an authority and then you are going and you insult that authority, then probably you are not going to be rewarded for that. وَالْجَالِسُ فِي مَجْلِسٍ لَيْسَ لَهُ بِأَهْلٍ. You go to a gathering that really that is not your place. Yeah? And like a sheikh want to go to the bar, like everybody's drinking and dancing and all of these things. And Shaykh Ahmad is going, that's Now, if I go there and if I was insulted, I should say how rude you are, bad people. I should say, blame myself. That is not your place. Why you go there to begin with? So don't go to the place that doesn't come to you. And finally, the Prophet said, والمقبل بالحديث على من لا يسمع منه. If you are talking and nobody listens, right? Nobody pays attention. Why you are talking? Nobody listens. So don't talk if you have listeners, if you have no audience. Like for example, if I continue this conversation for another 2 hours, I don't think any of you are going to stay here, right? I mean, if I'm not going to have listeners for a long time, so why I'm going to continue? Maybe I should stop it here. I had some more notes from related to this discussion, but basically, Imam is saying that this time is very important. Don't share everything that you hear, and don't deny anything that you don't know. And when you want to talk, remember both as-sidq was-sawab, that you are telling the truth, but you are saying it with wisdom. If you want to know the conditions of the best conversation, there are like so many verses in the Quran, at least 10 verses telling us how to talk. Like قولا سديدا, هدوا إلى الطيب من القول وهدوا إلى صراط الحميد. الطيب يعني الكلام طيب, beautiful. إذا قلتم فاعدلوا, be fair in your talk. قول للناس حسنا means generous in your expression and nice in your talking. قولا معروفا, قولا ميسورا, make it easy. قولا لينا, flexible. قولا كريما, like honorable talking. قولا بليغا, like very, very clear. Make the point, make sure that your communication is going through and you say something that people understand. What is it about when you talk for 1 hour and nobody understands what I'm talking about? So the kalam should be معروفا, ميسورا, لينا, كريما, بليغا, حسنا, طيبا. These are conditions that the Quran tells us about talking. If you have any question at this time before I leave the podium, as I said, I'm trying to make sure that inshallah before Safar we are done with this letter and letter 69 from Abdullah. Yes, sir. You know, the riba, backbiting, is also haqqun nas, is violation of the commandment from God, because God said, don't backbite. So when we backbite, we are ignoring Allah's order. That is one sin. But at the same time, this is a violation of another human being's integrity. It is important that somehow we fix this situation. Somehow, because somebody was damaged with this statement. Now, if you think that by asking forgiveness from that individual or fixing that damage that was created with that word that you made, talking to the same people, and somehow to correct it. And if none of this possible, we have haqqul madalim. Maybe give a sadaqah or a charity on behalf of that individual to a poor. That's haqqul madalim, that you violated if somebody is right. Because we have hadith on the day of judgment that when you backbite someone, uh, you kind of you are taking his sin and you are adding his sins to your sin and you are giving him your tawaf. As a matter of fact, there is a story that somebody had that somebody was backbiting him. The fact that he had this, he bought a huge gift. It's a very beautiful gift and very nice, and he sent this gift to that guy with a very nice letter. He said, "Thank you very much. I heard that you were backbiting me, and this is a gift because by doing that, you gave me the tawaf that you had, and you deleted the sins that I had in my part. And this is a huge service that you did to me. And nobody could provide such a service to take my sins away and replace it with tawaf and reward. Because of this big service that you did to me, I send you this gift. You really deserve such a thing, and thank you very much." Yes. You know, because when somebody like Donald Trump or this politician, when they say things are public, they don't care that they are lying or they are insulting people or, they are acting hypocritically. I just told the TVs, I said, how come that, our political leaders, our president can go to Saudi Arabia and dance with the dictators, those who are the source of all this extremism, and then comes back and put ban on innocent people, Arabs and Muslims and Asians and Mexicans and others. This is hypocrisy, right? So in this case, that's not backbiting because they already actually put themselves in this position. They made it public. They don't care. I mean, they say public. This is not something private that you are saying something that nobody knows about it. Because the hiba is that you are you are revealing something that people don't know about. But if something is totally public that everybody knows, and the person who does it, as a matter of fact, he does it for the sake of everybody knows about that. They intend to make it public. That's different, yes. Exactly. That's the wrong right. Yes. Right. For sure, Quran does tell us that. Right, it's, first of all, there is a hadith from the Prophet that, أدبوا أولادكم على محبة الله ومحبة الرسول أهل بيته. Something like this. Raise your children with the love of your Lord and the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt. And he is saying that the Prophet was Rahmatan lil Alameen. He loved everybody, although not everybody loved him. And this is about the Prophet that he is really the messenger of mercy for the entire mankind. So this is what the Prophet is about. And this is the point that those extremists and those terrorists, they miss this point. That you are talking about Prophet Muhammad, then you have to be loving. You should be Rahmatan lil Alameen. But they are fitnatan lil Alameen. They are Adab lil Alameen. They are Jahannam lil Alameen. So they cannot really represent the Prophet and they can claim the membership in the Ummah of the Prophet. Any other comment or question? Yes. whatever, the years, if you are not sure that how many prayers you miss, you go with the atal, means the minimum. Like, for example, if you don't know that you miss 3 years or 2 years, you go with 2 years. And you can still go with 2 years, but you don't have to. What you have to cover and have to make up is the minimum. That you say, for sure, I missed 2 years. For sure. But I'm not sure, maybe it was 2 years. You don't have to go for 2 years. And the fact that you make them up and ask for forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because prayer is different from backwarding. Prayer is something in violation of God's, the worshiping. And He is merciful, He is compassionate, and He told us, He opened the Babu Tawbah, the gate of repentance for us, because He knows that we are human beings, we have shortcomings, we are al-ma'soon, we are khata'un, we make mistakes. For that reason, He says that the moment that you sincerely repent and you come to the straight path, remember that word Ghaffar Rahim, Ghaffar or Ghafur Rahim, He is forgiving and He is merciful. So that was a good question. Yes. Because you violated the right of that individual. First of all, in every situation you want to be careful that it's not going to end to a bigger problem. If by going to that person and by saying that you feel there's going to be a bigger problem, then you may do the Rad al-Madal, you may ask Allah for forgiveness, and you give a charity on behalf of that person that you were backward. Another way would be to choose a right time and the right place for the right conversation. So that is very important, that if you want to go and ask for forgiveness from someone that you might have hurt by backbiting, it's important to how to say it. As I said, if you choose a tariq sawab, like in a wise way, you approach that person and you ask for forgiveness. So the possibility of reconciliation is much more. It depends really how you handle the situation. It's very important that haqqun nas is very important in our religion. And as I mentioned last night, when it comes to people's life, people's property, and people's integrity, and people's intellect, these four items are so important that we are not allowed. How the Quran says that killing one person equals murdering all people. That's how important it is. That's one life. And then it says that integrity of the person is even more important than the life of the person, because the life of a person is that somebody dies, but it's worse to live with humiliation than just die. That is what you mentioned, the assassination of the character. That's what the riba does. And for this reason, the Prophet said, Al-ghibatu ashaddu min az-zina. It's amazing that how bad adultery is, but backbiting is worse than adultery. And this is not something that we say, this is what the Prophet said. Because adultery is haram, but it's between two individuals that they agreed on, something sinful. While riba is not between two individuals that both agree. It's just one person is attacking another person, and that is how. Well, thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow and continue this with the beautiful messages of Imam Ali. And Ramadan is the best time to listen. May Allah protect you and bless you and your family and reward you for spending your time and coming to the house of God in this beautiful night of Ramadan. We say Surah Al-Fatiha لأرواح المؤمنين وأرواح الشهداء and أرواح أمواتنا جميعا بعد الصلوات على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Good night everyone. Wassalamu alaikum.